Hey, XT250 Rides here. Just wanted to share a quick video about my discovery of a non-functioning rear turn signal. And it started out with me checking my handlebar area for rattling noise that I was picking up on my camera. So I'm checking my camera mount, my iPhone mount, I'm checking different components, the cowl, the mirrors, and at one point I decided, hey, I'll just kind of pound on the handlebars like I'm showing here on the grips. And sure enough, I started hearing the rattle. It was very distinct, and it seemed like it was coming from maybe a couple different places, but the place where I heard it most was the turn signal housing. So I thought, well, I'll take it apart and see what's rattling around in there. Maybe it's a broken piece of plastic, who knows. So I took it apart, and sure enough, there is a black piece of plastic that's a little loose inside that housing, and I thought maybe that was the culprit. And there's a little metal bracket underneath it that was not really where it should be. It was just a little bit catty corner. So I tightened up the screw that holds it in place and kind of pushed that bracket up against the plastic, thinking that would help kind of pin it in place. Tightened it up, and here I'm buttoning it all back up and hoping that that was the culprit to this rattle that I keep hearing in my videos. So the unfortunate thing is the videos still have the same rattle, so that's not what the source was. I'm thinking maybe it's inside the camera. But I think it cleared a little bit of that rattle up nevertheless, but it wasn't the rattle I was looking for. So then a day or two later, I thought maybe I'd better check my turn signals. I had that housing apart just to make sure they're working, and here you can see I've got the fast blink on the indicator light, which is a bad sign. That usually means you've got a bulb out or something's not connected properly. So I discovered it was the rear right turn signal was not working. You can see it flashing on the front here, but not in the back. So I've got a problem somewhere. So naturally, the first thing I wanted to look at was the bulb. So I looked at it closely. I didn't see any corrosion. The filament looked pretty solid. I didn't see any break in the filament. And I swapped out another bulb, and it still didn't work. So the bulb was fine. So my next step was to see if it's getting any juice back there. So I've got the turn signal on here while I'm testing it with my voltage meter, and I'm touching the contacts there, and I'm getting nothing. So I took the side panel off, and there it is. I've got a connector that is not connected, for lack of a better term. And the weird thing is, it's not even close. They're not even close to each other. There's one on one side of the loom there, and one that's on the other. So I kind of dug my fingers around and was able to connect the two. And a little bit of a tight fit, but once I pushed it back in underneath those wires, felt a little better to me. I had taken the battery out at one point and replaced it. I had messed with the carb. I'd done a few things, and I think during one of those repairs or maintenance items, I think I must have disconnected it. So here we go. It's back on and everything's fine. So just a reminder to keep a watch on your lights. Make sure your brakes, your brake lights are coming on with both the hand and the foot, and just keep an eye on those lights. Ride safe.